Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Meticulous Customs. I have a quick install here. The video will be shortened because I'll be pausing between the steps so that I can do the work without my air compressor being loud. You don't need an air compressor to do this or air tools, but it makes it a lot easier. The bushings that I'm about to press out are pretty well in there. What I'm doing is the rear camber delete. It's going to take it from 2 degrees negative to about 0.5 degrees negative, which is actually within the specs recommended by the manufacturer. I've already done an iBox Pro kit on this car a couple months ago. Now we're installing this. So to do this, you'll need the normal tools that you need to get everything off. Which right now I have a 3/4 socket. It's a deep socket. It doesn't have to be deep, with an extension. It's for my air impact. Here I have a 7/8 socket as well. Use that for the end of the tool here. When I use the air tool, it just makes it easier. I have a hammer. I have a breaker bar. I have a adjustable wrench. The bigger the better on these. Then I have this kit from AutoZone. It's about 200 bucks to rent. It's called the Power Built 23-piece ball joint U-joint service kit. Here's the part number. It's 648617, T as in Tango. So once you return the kit, they give you your full $200 back that you used to rent it. It's just a little bit of insurance money. Here's the kit we're installing. It's part number 66050, Pro Alignment Team. It's from SPC Products, the specialty products company. You can use these or you can use the iBox. Doesn't matter. I use these. They're a little bit cheaper than the iBox. They work fine on both of my Mopars that I have. But like I said, this is going on a 2016 Hellcat. So I'm going to go ahead and take the tires off for right now. I'll be back just a second. Alright, so now I have the wheel off. See nice Brembo brakes. SRT suspension. And here you see the springs from the iBox Pro kit I already installed. Lowered it about 2 inches actually. Pieces we'll be replacing are the bushings here, and there's another one right here. So these 2 bushings are actually what control the camber on the rear of the car. Now you can spend a little more money if you want to spend $400 or $500 and get the adjustable arms here. That SPC kit's going to cost you about 80 bucks. If you don't have somebody like me to install it, they might charge you a little bit. I'm not sure what their prices are. I've heard anywhere from $200 to $400 to install these. So now what I'm going to do is come over here. So I'm going to use this here, which is the 3/4 that I showed you earlier, this 3/4 socket. I don't need the extension. I'm using my impact. Alright, so using the impact on this side. Now I'm going to hold the other side here with my adjustable wrench. So give me just a second. Alright, so once I took that off, I got this little nut here. Set this off to the side. You see the bolt here. Back it out the rest of the way. You see that arm pop up. Ready for us to service. So let me grab some tools. So for this part, I'm using these tools out of the kit. So you have these 2 that come right in the front, a little see-through portion. So this here is what we're going to use to press that bushing out. Gotta get me a cameraman one of these days. So just a little quick picture. That's how it's going to be set up. Right there. Now I'm going to put it on each side of the bushing. Alright, here you'll see the Here you'll see the actual press on the car. So here we have the little see-through piece we had. We're gonna press this direction and press this bushing up until it's flat. To get it the rest of the way out, I'll take this piece off and I'll use just this center piece to push it out. Now this might destroy this bushing, but you're not supposed to reuse them anyway, so it does not matter. So give me just a second. Here you can see I've pressed it flat up against the arm. There's not enough room here for me to finish. So I'm going to have to take that one piece off I just discussed so I can use the actual other piece to press it all the way through. As I discussed earlier, took the piece off. Just drop back here now. Took this piece off. And now I'm just going to use the actual press to press the bushing the rest of the way through. Now doing this, like I said, could ruin the bushing, but you're not supposed to reuse them anyways. There, it broke through. Back that out. Now, opening the iBot kit, read the instructions on your own. I'm not going to read them for you. But you will see that there are two pieces. Okay, so you have one that's flat all the way, one that's stepped. Now the one that's flat is the one we're going to press in where we just took this one out. The one that's stepped is going to go back here. It'll go this direction. It'll be pressed into the lower one that's closest to the front of the car. Now when you do this, on this, if I can clear up, other side. Alright, so you'll see the adjustment little marks. So once this is in, you see, if it's level with it, it's going to push the camber all the way out, back towards the positive side. And depending on where you do it, like here for instance, would be the same as what it's factory set at, so it's right in the middle. And if you bring it inside, if you wanted to go negative more, this would bring you to about negative 3.5, which I wouldn't recommend doing, but some people like that. Alright, so I'm going to press this in. Now what I'm going to do to press this in, it's up to you how you measure this. This is just my way of doing it because I've done it a few times. So I'm going to sit the bushing in, and I'm going to push it down here like this, and I'm going to use the bolt and push it through. Now when you unbolt this, it's automatically going to push the rotor out all the way. So when you add this bolt, as you can see, my camber's pushed all the way out, which will make it a full 1.5 degree positive adjustment. Once I get that set just right, alright, so now that I got it in there right where I want it, I'm going to take my hammer. Now you see how I'm holding it. I'm not holding it hard. I'm not going to be banging on it hard, but I'm tapping. What I'm doing is presetting the bushing so that when I take the bolt out, it doesn't move. Unless you have 3 hands working with your tools and everything else and trying to hold this bushing is going to be a pain. So now I have it out. Took the bolt out, and you see it's not really moving. If I pull hard enough, it will move. I'm going to go back to my kit from AutoZone. A super expensive kit. Now, I'm going to use these same 2 tools. Alright. And the little sleeve. Now you're going to want to put your sleeve on this side. The side that the bushing is not. You're going to press this in until it's right about dead center. You want this bushing to be centered inside of the actual control arm. That's just what they recommend on the manufacturers. So now I'm going to go ahead and hook the press up for just a second. Alright, now is when my breaker bar comes into place. Because as you can see, I have it set up, but there's no way to get an impact back there. So I'm going to use my breaker bar to get back there. Now I recommend opening the door on whatever car you're working on. That way if this slips, it's going to hit this plastic right here, not the door. You don't want to damage the car. You're going to twist this to the right until you get the bushing halfway in. And once you have it pressed in, you're going to want to do the same thing to the lower control arm. Bolt them back together, put your wheel back on, go get your alignment for the other portions, the caster and the toe. Camber, they're not going to be able to adjust, but you should be well within range if you set it correctly according to the instructions. Alright, that's all I have for you guys, YouTube. So this is Matt signing out with Meticulous Customs. Have a good one.